Am I the butthole for refusing to pay for a girl's wig after she shaved her head because of me? There's this girl that lives in my uni halls. We're not roommates, but we are flatmates. Let's name her Kaya. She's 19. I'm also 19, and I met her in September when we started university and moved into halls. We're not best friends, but we are friendly. We don't really spend much time together. Over time, my friends noticed that Kaya tried to copy me in everything. It started slowly, accessories and some clothes, nothing major. I didn't even notice it until people started pointing it out to me. I have a rather distinct style, and she started copying it. I don't own the style, and she's free to wear what she likes, but it's the exact same copies of my outfits, which is very odd. But then it started going further. I dyed my hair, she dyed her hair. I bought something for my room, she bought the same thing for hers. I started chatting with a guy, she became obsessed with that guy, to a point that whenever I had a male friend or guy I was interested in over, she'd go out of her way to try and get their attention, coming down to the kitchen in nothing but a towel. Now, don't get me wrong, I couldn't care less if the guy was looking. And even if it was my boyfriend looking, I'd have a beef with him, not her. But the blatant attention-seeking behavior was just odd. I joined societies and sports, and after she found out, she joined the same ones that I did. Basically, everything I do, she copies eventually. It's just really creepy, but I've not said anything. I wouldn't even know what to say. Over the Easter break, my friend and I were at my family's house, a bit drunk, and decided to test out whether Kaya really copies everything I do. I made a post on social media about shaving my head. My friend does hairdressing, and she helped me out, faking the shaved head, and I posted a photo with the shaved head. I deleted the photo a few days later and forgot about the whole thing. After Easter break was over, we had uni exams, and I was focusing on that. Imagine my shock when I came back and Kaya had shaved her head, and she was fuming when she saw me. She started shouting how I lied to her, and why would I do that? She went on and on and on, really angry. Admittedly, I ignored her and hid in my room. She sent me a text telling me that she expects me to pay for her wig, as it's my fault that she shaved her head. I replied that absolutely not, it was not my fault, and she decided on her own to do that. She kept attacking me over it every time I saw her. It's been a few days since I came back from Easter break. My exams start tomorrow, and yesterday I received an email from my university asking me for a meeting over the issue. She reported me to uni over something she's done. I'm genuinely confused. Was I really in the wrong? Am I the butthole for pretending to shave my head and refusing to pay for her wig?
No, there's no way you're the butthole there. It's just very strange behavior from this girl is all I can say really. Why is she copying your every move? That's odd. You didn't shave her head. She shaved her head. That's on her. And now she's got a shaved head. Nothing wrong with being bald, but yeah, you did that yourself.
Am I the butthole for sending my coworker into anaphylactic shock? I'm at a loss here, guys. Realistically, I know I'm in the clear. Legally, I'm in the clear, but I'm being vilified by my co-workers, and I'm genuinely considering quitting my job because of this mess. So, I work a pretty standard day job, and at night, I help my friend at her restaurant, which serves an assortment of Thai cuisine. To be honest, I'm insanely picky, but I fell in love with this peanut sauce the main chef makes, and he showed me how to make it. So, about once a week, I take it on either noodles or stir fry to my day job for lunch. People know this, and a handful have tried it. It smells nutty, it tastes nutty, it's white girl pad thai, basically. Lately, my lunches have been disappearing, or I'll open my lunchbox to find half my food missing. I've tried addressing it, but nothing has changed, and I'm pretty sure it was one of the new hires that was doing it. But I had no proof until now. On Thursday, I took my noodles, and my entire Tupperware was missing, which hasn't happened before. I'm fuming, but what can I do? A co-worker shared her pizza with me, and that was that. Until today. My boss confronted me and accused me of poisoning my noodles because his daughter, one of the new girls, borrowed my lunch and had to be hospitalized. It turns out she's severely allergic to nuts, ate some, and boom, anaphylaxis. She used an EpiPen and had to be hospitalized. And now her dad is trying to hold me accountable for her bills and condition, but I don't see it. Why should I pay? I don't mark my food as an allergen because I'm not allergic to it. She was just dumb enough to steal from me and eat something she can't have. But he is being hateful, and some of my older co-workers are icing me out because I warned him I'd report any harassment to HR if he tried anything funny. Brown noses, I guess. My friend is aware and offered me a full-time job, but I just can't help but feel it's unfair. At the same time, I guess I could have killed his daughter though. So, am I the butthole?
Similar to the first story, you didn't force your co-worker to eat your food, they ate it themselves. You're definitely not the butthole, they are. Can you imagine if every time you ate nuts or something that someone else could be allergic to, you had to label it as a possible allergy? God, that would be horrible. How about just don't steal someone else's food? Bit of advice there. What we've got here, by the way, is classic nepotism from your boss. That behavior is shambolic. Go to HR, let them know what's going on, that it's pretty disgusting, and keep making your pad thai. Who cares if you're a white girl? Do it.
Am I the butthole for taking away my daughter's bedroom and giving it to my son? I am a 32-year-old man, and I have a daughter, Harper, who is 14, from a previous relationship. I have full custody, and her mum is not involved in her life. 5 years ago, I married my wife, Nina. We tried to have a child, but couldn't. We went to the doctor, and it turned out I can't have any more kids due to some complications. We decided to use a sperm donor, and the result was a son, Mark, born a few months ago. The problem started when Nina got pregnant. Harper wasn't happy about it. When Mark was born, things got worse. Before this, Harper and I used to spend 2 days a week together, just the two of us without my wife. But after Mark was born, I couldn't do that anymore. I couldn't just leave my wife alone for 2 days a week with a newborn, and Harper has been very angry about it. The main problem started 3 days ago. Nina and I decided to make a nursery for Mark, instead of having him in our own bedroom for multiple reasons. Our home has 4 bedrooms, 2 master bedrooms at one side, and 2 bedrooms at the other side. One of the master rooms is ours, the other one is Harper's. It was very hard for Nina and I to go to the other side of the home multiple times at night when Mark wakes up. So, I asked Harper to pack her stuff and go to one of the other bedrooms so that we could give her room to Mark. At first, everything seemed alright. She said okay and went to her room and started packing. But, less than an hour later, my brother showed up at our home asking for Harper. She had called him and asked him to take her. She came out of her room with her stuff and told me, "You can give it to your son now," and left with my brother. I told her she could only go for one night, but it's been 3 days and she's not back and won't even talk to me. I'm receiving calls from my family, all calling me a butthole and some other names. I don't trust their judgment. They very clearly favour Harper. She was the first grandchild in our family and everyone's favourite. Also, they're trying to accept Mark as my son, but I could see that they haven't been able to yet. So, I decided to post here and get some unbiased opinions. Guys, am I the butthole?
Yeah, this is really poor. And guys, we've definitely met our first butthole of the episode. Let me know if you agree in the comments if you're watching on YouTube. But for me, there's no doubt about it. You are a butthole here. Are you telling me you can't just walk like, I don't know, 2 meters across a corridor to go and see your baby? Like, how big's a corridor? That's my question. Big enough to force your daughter to move room, the same room that she's lived in for a while? Like, it's weird. It really is. I mean, that's on top of the fact that you've already told your daughter you can no longer spend time with her. It's interesting parenting is all I'll say. Don't get me wrong, it's a shame that she's not keen on the new child, but that's no reason to then just take her room away from her. That's just unfair.
Am I the butthole for giving a very silly, ugly smile in meetings after my boss said I should smile more? I work in a tech consulting job. I'm the only woman on the team. And my boss told me I was coming off harsh with clients and should be more upbeat and smile more. It felt ick. I right away texted my group chat of co-workers, without the management in it, asking, "Has boss man ever told any of you guys to smile more?" It was an immediate round of no's, and a couple of my co-workers asked if he said that to me and pointed out the double standard. A few of my co-workers joked that some of the clients we have right now don't give them anything to smile about. So then I asked if any of them had ever been called harsh, and it was again, all no's. I told them that our boss had told me to smile more, and one of my co-workers sent me a picture of a girl pulling a silly face with a weird pinch smile and bug-out eyes, saying, "Well, what boss man says, he gets." I thought it was hilarious and decided to actually do it. So I started smiling more and more around my boss, but also a bit stupidly. Just keeping my mouth pinched tensely, gums on display, and purposely pulling my chin back towards my neck so I'd get a double chin. I never did it in front of actual clients, just my boss and co-workers who were in on the joke. And my boss kept looking uncomfortable when I did. He asked me at a meeting about a week in what that face I was pulling was. I said, what face? He said, "That one, just a second ago." And my co-worker said, What? She was just smiling. What are you getting at her for? My boss said it looked like she was pulling a face. And my other co-worker pulled out his phone where he had some pictures from a recent happy hour where I was pulling that face to make my co-workers laugh. And he said, dude, what the heck is wrong with you? That's literally her smile. Look at this picture from last Friday. And all of my co-workers backed him up, saying that was just how I smile. My boss looked kinda incredulous, so I clarified that if something makes me spontaneously laugh or grin, it probably looks a little more relaxed. But when I'm just putting on a smile to be polite or pose for a picture, I guess that's how I smile. And I was trying to be polite after he let me know I was coming off harsh in meetings. Anyway, at my next one-on-one meeting, my boss said I didn't need to change my demeanor that much based on his comments, because honestly it was coming off disingenuous and that would look worse in front of clients. I just said, yeah, I guess I've never really been good at being super peppy without it looking fake. And as far as I know, that was the end of it. Except for it becoming a running joke at the office that I looked like Nigel Thornberry, which is a pretty smashing nickname, honestly. But I do feel a little bad that I basically gaslit my boss and my co-workers were in on it instead of being direct with him and just saying that he was coming across a little bit sexist. So, am I the butthole for my fake smile thing? There is no way that you're the butthole in this situation, OP. And what's more, I really want to see the smile. Unfortunately, there's been no picture linked with the smile, but you can imagine it, can't you? The boss just going, yeah, not really what I had in mind. Maybe stop doing that. What I must say though is your co-workers are unbelievable for getting behind you. You shouldn't feel bad. Like, your boss was the one who said something so ludicrous. Yeah, look, smiling is great and all, but don't like force someone to do it like this. That's just too much. At the end of the day, it's just good malicious compliance. Your boss asked you to smile, you did. What can you say? Am I the butthole for buying my girlfriend a blender instead of the necklace she wanted for our anniversary? Before I start, I'd like to say that my girlfriend and I are both women. We are lesbians. I say this to hopefully preempt the typical man comments. This happened last month, but my friend and hers are still giving me trash about it. We had our 1-year anniversary. I asked what she wanted, and she told me just something romantic, a little necklace or something cute. While browsing around on Amazon, I found an emulsion blender, and it pinged in my head. My girlfriend loves cooking and always talks about all the gadgets she wants. Plus, she made homemade tomato sauce, and I remember her complaining how hard it was to make the sauce smooth because she didn't have an emulsion blender. Now, I'm a very practical gift giver. I like to give things that people will use, so I bought it and was super excited to give it to her. The day rolls around and she gives me a bottle of whiskey I've had my eye on for ages, but could never justify the cost. I was so hyped and encouraged my girlfriend to open her gift. She opened it and her face kind of falls, and she goes, "Oh, an emulsion blender." And I told her I remembered her talking about all the kitchen gadgets she wanted, and I was so excited to give it to her. She kept her cool, but told me while she appreciated the thoughts, she was a little upset that it wasn't jewelry. I was so confused, so she explained that she felt anniversaries should be more about romantic or sentimental gifts versus practical, that she appreciated it greatly, but couldn't lie to me, that she did wish it had been the necklace she pointed out to me online. It was nothing fancy, a $30 mushroom necklace. I shared my woes with my friend, and my friend thought it was hilarious that I was so inept, and that he understood why my girlfriend was upset with her gifts. My girlfriend's best friend also got wind of the situation and has been ribbing me with telling my girlfriend to get back to the kitchen jokes, etc. My girlfriend and I are fine, but I know she was disappointed, and she ended up buying the necklace herself a week after I gave her the blender. So, am I the butthole for giving my girlfriend a practical gift versus the necklace she wanted? Wow. Yeah, you're definitely the butthole, I'm sorry. Like, this one is so straightforward. She explicitly asked you for a necklace or a nice piece of jewelry, and you said, do you know what? No, let's get something that's the complete opposite. Not sentimental at all. A blender. Sweet, exactly what I asked for. Thanks. I love that you said that you were so confused when she was sad that you got her a blender. You got her a blender. She asked for jewelry. Are you dumb? I know you explained at the start of this post that you're a lesbian in order to get away from the typical man comments, but this isn't typical man. This is worse than that. This is like reality TV or literally scripted comedy shows where men are just shown to be stupid. This is really, really bad. And by the way, I don't think you're necessarily being mean-spirited, but for you to not understand why your girlfriend would be upset here, it's just weird. I've got to say.
And I'll tell you what else is weird, is if you don't click on this playlist of all my Am I the Butthole videos right away. Link is also down in the description if you're listening on a podcast platform. Guys, if you're chilling and you want to hear some unbelievable stories from buttholes and innocent people, whack it on and it will entertain you for hours. Trust me.